Thank you for joining Reg Edited. I'm Reggie, and I'm really so glad that you're here this week. I'm going to make a quick short video as I was trying to come up with a subject that might be helpful for you. So I just want to give you a little bit of inspiration when you're working on your diet or your exercise plan. Hopefully you're working on both together to take care of yourself, because this channel is about care for the caregiver. Yes, if we're not in good shape and we're not feeling good about what we're doing, then what's the point, right? We need to be in optimum healthy levels so that we can take care of others like our family and friends around us and just feel good and do something for yourself. So I had my own coaching session for me, and he is such a gem. He really helps me not only with business, but also with my personal life. I really wanted to share something with you this week when it comes to being a perfectionist. I know I'm a perfectionist. I believe you all are perfectionists in some sort of way as well that are watching this channel, because we're trying to be better. We're trying to get a better body. We're trying to get a better look. We're trying to feel good naturally, right? And so all of that, it has to have that type of personality that really goes after what they want and accomplishes it. If we don't accomplish these goals, then we're beating ourselves up all the time because we know we can be better. And that is a learned way that we grew up. You know, I grew up that way and thinking if I don't get this by this time, then I'm in trouble, right? The word deadline. So deadline has been the word that's been driving me crazy lately. I set so many goals for myself to be a certain weight and a certain look, or to set a goal at work in my career and to make sure that I get it by this time. That word deadline is just a horrible word. And so my coach had to beat me in my head to let it go. Because if we are setting the right intentions for ourselves, then that is doing our best. If we set the intentions and then enjoy the process, the journey of getting to the goal, then you've already won. You've already got to the finish line by enjoying what you're doing every day to get closer to it. If we don't like what we're doing, then we're just gonna stop doing it, yes? And that's where consistency comes into play when it comes to sticking to a certain plan in our meals every day and staying away from the salt, staying away from the sugar, staying away from the alcohol. Whatever the goals that you set for yourself, these activities have to be done to reach that target. So being in the fall season now, and we're already almost here at the end of the year, and I know the time just flies fast for everyone. Family, work, friends, a lot of obligations leads to a lot of stress. If we have all this stress going on, then we always seem to be knocked off of our game. We tend to stress eat, and we tend to do things that will sabotage what the path we were already on that we set for ourselves. What I'm asking you today, and what I was asked of myself, is to let go of your expectations. Instead of expectations, you set intentions, right? And you're living an intentional life, but keeping it simple. Let's not make it so complex. So one thing I would say about this holiday season coming up and getting revved up, right, with all this food around us all the time, is to just set your boundaries. Set your boundaries not only with yourself on what you're going to eat, but be kind to yourself. You know, set a range of the type of foods that you know you're going to eat. And then in that range, allow yourself maybe something 80% of doing the right thing and then 20% of doing something that you really wanted is okay. So if you are going to have some dessert at the actual dinner, then have a piece of dessert. Maybe it's pie or maybe a piece of cake. Allow yourself that. And then make sure that you don't have leftovers in your house afterwards, so it doesn't turn into 2, 3, 4 days of eating dessert. See what I mean about setting a boundary? That's just one example. Another way of setting your boundaries is with your family. Let them know, if you haven't already, let them know about your diet and whatever you have changed. And maybe you're going to do a 30-day plant eating type of challenge. and eat more plants instead of eating animal products. Let them know what you're doing, because the family is going to eat what they want regardless. But if you are setting an example just by eating the way you've already set up for yourself, you might be surprised and a family member might jump on to your meal plan. If you show by doing, then that could change the whole dynamic what's happening in the household. So you have to set those boundaries and to let them know what's happening, communicate with them, but also setting it up for your environment, which we talked about many times in past videos, is setting up your environment and moving things out of your eyesight, whatever's in the house that's not doing you well, it's not good for you. We understand that other family members may eat that, and that's certainly up to them. If you're putting it out of sight, then it makes a difference, right? So that's a boundary that you're setting, and to make sure that they understand that, and so that they can support you in what you're doing for your diet. And I have a couple of questions that my coach asked me to ask myself when I'm doing any kind of set activity or target or goal. Ask yourself, did I do my best? Did I do my best to control my focus, right? My focus on the types of foods that I'm going to eat or the type of exercise I'm going to do on a daily? Did I do my best just being a human being? Because we're all flawed. We all are going to make mistakes, but learning is by making mistakes, right? So we can perform by learning and doing it all at once. You can't always know everything and how it's going to go from day to day, because we're not mind readers and we can't know the future. Only God does, right? Did we do our best by being a human being and then giving ourselves a break when we set those intentions? And the last question I would say is, did I do my best treating myself with respect? Treating myself respect, and it allows for us all to really know how we're going to live in this world, right? And deal with all these distractions. But also, we're giving ourselves some room to breathe so that we can attain these goals that we set for ourselves. Making it realistic and making it also ambitious without being so overwhelmed. Okay, I'm going to end this video, and usually I would end with asking you a question. I'm just going to give you a little bit of homework that I've given myself, is to find something fun to do, whether it's an exercise or whether it is just doing something for yourself. For instance, I took on a new exercise, and it was a childhood enjoyment that I would do, and that's roller skating. A little bit of investment, and I found my own skates. I actually went out and went to the roller rink on my own, and I had a blast. I was out there skating for like 2 hours, almost 2 hours straight, and sweating and being a hot mess. But it was so good and it felt so good. But I know at the same time that I enjoyed doing that, it didn't feel like exercise, and I burned a ton of calories. Try something for yourself and make it fun. And if it's fun, then you'll continue to do it ongoing. The key is to doing something new that you enjoy. I thank you so much for watching, and always remember that caregiving begins with you. Let's keep searching for the perfect bite and balance. I'll talk to you later. Bye.